Mama giggled at his cute babbling and picked him up. The feelings of helplessness he'd been having since this began now became complete. He was limp as a rag doll in Mama's arms. From Meg's behavior and his lack of speech or motor control, he now estimated his abilities at the 5 or maybe 6-month-old level. As Mama rested him against her bosom and cradled his bottom with her arm, he felt that his diaper seemed much thicker as well, the leg holes no longer contoured to fit a learning walker or even a crawler. For several disorienting seconds, he could only see Mama's shirt as she carried him across the room. Then she set him down in a strange seat that wrapped around him with a section sticking up between his legs. He recalled that this was called a bumbo. It was designed to keep a small infant sitting upright, preventing him flopping over on his back or tummy. It forced his legs straight out in front of him where he watched them twitch and wiggle seemingly on their own. Rachel was sat in a pink bumbo right next to his. Though her outfit hadn't changed, her hair had become thinner as well, and she too had a romper collar that was now wet with drool. Brian gave her a pitiful look, wishing he could tell her how sorry was that he'd only made things worse for them again. She glared back at him, opening her mouth as though ready to yell at him, but shut it again when the only result was more spittle down her chin. For 5 minutes, they were forced to sit there trapped in their bumbo chairs watching other older kids play. With each demotion, they appreciated what they'd had before. At least at the last level, they were mobile and could communicate to some degree. Rachel thought she'd even enjoy being back in one of those baby walkers now. At least that was a vehicle of sorts. When Sarah and Joy returned from changing Danny into a new diaper, they set about entertaining the bored-looking babies. Danny was plopped on the floor to creep while the two mommies shook rattles before Brian and Rachel. Neither baby wanted to show any interest, even though the noises were undeniably attention-grabbing for both. Was this what their future held? How could they ever be happy contained to baby seats and forced to watch the world go by while their mothers gave them silly toys that could never entertain their adult minds? Sarah frowned at Bree-Bree's lack of interest in the rattle. "Come on, sweetie, look at the pretty rattle," she urged. Looky Bree-Bree," she cooed to the boy, shaking it right before his eyes. Brian glanced at the rattle at last and then his eyes seemed locked on it. "Yes, there we go, there's my happy baby. Who weekays his whittle wattle? Does Bree-Bree? I think he does. I think he wants to chew it, doesn't he?" Brian began to reach out for the toy, despite himself. Mama let him take it into his hands and he found the urge to put it in his mouth was indeed irresistible. He gummed the hard plastic, slobbering over the toy and feeling ashamed by his infantile explorations. At least until he looked over and saw that Rachel was smiling and squealing with glee as her mama tickled the soles of her feet. Maybe this wasn't so bad after all. Brian felt light tickles brush up and down his own feet as Mama copied joy. The nerves down there seemed to have become super sensitive and he shivered with ecstasy, smiling around the rattle and giggling uncontrollably. Mama was so funny. How could getting a little tickle be so much fun? Bree-Bree likes getting icles on him's footses. Look at that silly smile. Sarah baby talked to him. "Do you love your mama? Can Bree-Bree tell me who he loves? Say mama for me, sweetie. I know you can do it, just say mama for me." Feeling alive with silliness as the tickles continued, Brian opened his mouth and tried his best to make his mama happy. "Bah," he crowed. "Ooh, that was close, sweetie," Mama declared. "Try again, sweetie. Come on, ickle bwibwi, tell Mama who you love. Say Mama."